What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to the Spicy Shield Talk. Today we're going to talk about the Raiders being the most underrated and most disrespected team in the NFL. Let's talk about it. What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to the Spicy Shield Talk. You already know what to do. Light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe to both of our channels, and if you haven't already, please join and become a member. If you're playing along with us tonight, the drinking game alert is underrated and or disrespected, and we are tired of it. What's good, Chris?
What's going on? How's everybody doing today?
You know, we gonna get some stuff off our chest today because we're tired of hearing about how our team is it's only projected at 7-10.
I can't hear you.
So I think
I'm sorry. Okay, I hear you now. Sorry.
we have a little better record than I think we were going to have a little better record than that. I mean, listen, last year the Raiders finished at 8-9. I think they've improved. Personally, I think the Raiders have improved.
How much?
Well, they didn't go down. So, I'm just gonna speak on that for a moment because CBS Sports and other analysts have the Raiders projected at 7-10. The Raiders went 8-9 last season. Listen, I don't think they went down. Outside of the fact that there is no Patrick Mahomes on the Raiders, there is no Lamar Jackson on the Raiders, that doesn't mean the Raiders have gotten worse, in my opinion. Okay, yeah. There isn't that star quarterback, right? We have two quarterbacks. We don't know who's going to be the starter yet, but we have two quarterbacks who are decent guys. We have a playmaker in Minshew, and we have Aiden O'Connell, who stepped up last year. He stepped up. He did his thing. So how much do they improve? We'll get into that a little bit later, but I don't think they got worse. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think, especially on the defensive side of the ball, they got a lot. I think they got a lot better. For one, I always continue preaching continuity. I mean, guys get better in year 2 and 3 in a system. I mean, we've seen that with Malcolm Kuntz. We've seen that in Trayvon Moehrig. We've seen that in, other guys, Nate Hobbs. So I expect to see guys like Tyree Wilson get better. As good as Spillane played last year, he's going to play better.
Yeah.
I think they're all because they're going to do less thinking and more just reading and reacting, and they're going to play so much better. So I think, Jacorian Bennett's going to get better. So I think there's going to get better just from that standpoint. But then when you get an offensive coordinator, that's kind of a big question mark. But it's a guy that Devontae Adams has a great relationship with. He knows that system in and out. I'm a trust Tay. I think we're going to be all right. I still say 10 wins at least.
Okay, and I think it'll take 10 wins to really make a playoff push. But yeah, the defense, finished in the top 10 last season. They finished at number 9. I think we can agree, at least you and I, when I say we, they have gotten better with the addition of Christian Wilkins.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully they can push to really become in that top 5 defense. Like you mentioned, a bunch of defensive players who are only going to get better this year. So I just find it a little disrespectful how the Raiders are being underrated this year. So that's a double whammy for you for playing the drinking game with us.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and plus, like we talked about Christian Wilkins, and I know we'll probably talk about him a little later, but out of everyone in NFL, he is like the one guy that can play next to Maxx and match his energy. Yeah. And to me, that means so much. Like that motor that he has is going to drive Mahomes just crazy. He's going to hate it. So people are really underlooking us, but that's fine because I'm going to win a lot of money on my bets this year. So let's get it.
Hey, whatever works. We'll make those bets, right? So if you want to participate in tonight's show, tonight is a call-in show. We want to hear what you think about the disrespect the Raiders are getting out there from analysts, from networks, and even from some teams. So call us 510-394-4409 if you want to weigh in on why you think, I'm assuming, we're all Raiders fans here, I'm assuming we can all agree that the Raiders are being underrated at this point. And we're going to get into some talking points here and there as to why. But before we really kind of get into this, let's say what's up to some of these peeps in the chat.
What's going on, chat?
What up?
Let's see. Who all we got in there?
We'll try to start at the top here. We got, oh my gosh, it's bouncing around. Well, go ahead. If you see him, you can read him. Let's say we got Raider Paul in the building.
Raider Paul in the building.
What's good? Raider Travis, always in the building. Billy Davis, what's good? Sun Goddess, what's good?
Mother Moon.
Mother Moon in the building.
Got Matt in the building.
Matt, he says 10-7. All right, we like that. Anthony Estrada, what's going down?
What's going on, man?
Cowtown Luda.
Cowtown Luda in the building. What's going on?
He said exactly to Jack. I didn't see what Jack said, but all right.
Let's see, what did Jack
So
say?
let's.
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't know. I didn't see it, honestly. But yeah, join the conversation, the numbers on the board. But let's get into just some of the disrespect. I mean, we've already seen it. I think we've all already seen it. If we haven't, we're going to go into a little of disrespect Davante Adams got from the Chargers organization. So before we give our opinions on it, here's what he had to say.
Where, a few of the social media pages were posting some funny stuff of, when the schedule was releasing. So they posted me and then like a trash can or something like that. The Chargers did. So I thought about responding on social media to it and being funny there, but I figured it'd be better to, just beat their head in real life and continue doing it the way, because my first game against them, I don't know, they clearly forgot.
Yeah,
you like 10 catches, 141 yards and a touchdown. And then the next time, that same year, it was like 177 yards and, 2 touchdowns, I think it was that game. So I just wanted to kind of remind them what they've been going through as it pertains to playing against me. And hopefully the people that made that post, because it's not the players' fault. They didn't have anything to do with the post, but this is directed strictly toward the Chargers social media page. Please keep my name out your mouth and show some.
Take notes to the Chargers social media team on that, but you're going to, wow. See, I feel, are you in this new era where you're just letting it fly and opening up more? Because I was not expecting that. Davante, I feel like you're at this point of your career where you're just letting it fly.
I am. I'm
good for you.
They treat me like an old man, so I'm gonna just act like, because old men, they don't think, they just say whatever, whatever they feel. So that's how my grandpa is, at least. So I'm just trying to be the old man that they want me to be.
Well, good luck week 1 at SoFi. Raiders taking on the Chargers in one of 2 bouts.
Talk that talk, Tay. Keep my name out your mouth.
Exactly. I saw that, and if we don't know, I'm going to put up here the graphic he was speaking of. This graphic came out quite some time ago. He's kind of making his press tour right now because the receiver came out just today, actually. But so as he's making his press tour, the Chargers social media team put this out. Honestly, when I saw it, I totally disregarded it. It doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like,
right.
Who came up with this and who approved it?
What's Pop-Tart got to do with anything? Am I missing something? Is there like some lingo that I'm not getting? Like, okay, if you want to call them garbage, that's one thing, but what's up with the Pop-Tart reference? Am I missing something?
I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something too. The only thing I can think of is like Pop-Tarts are like literally garbage and nobody should eat them because they're barely food.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
I don't know. But other than that, it makes no sense. Again, like Davante said, this has nothing to do with the players, but it does have something to do with the organization because the social media teams, I think, often get it wrong, really, throughout the leagues.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're unsupervised, if they're immature, but somebody has to take responsibility. This is just like makes no sense. It's not. I don't even find it funny if it was somebody. If it was like I could laugh at ourselves. Like if it's funny, this isn't even funny. And then did they forget you heard what he's like the amount of catches and yards and points the Raiders and he put up on the Chargers.
He kills them.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, hey, if this bothered him in any way, I think I love him. If he has a chip on his shoulder, show up to that stadium week 1, and show him what a Pop-Tart looks like, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's wild, man. I mean, honestly, because when I did the math on just his games against them as a Raider, he averaged 9 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown per game against
Yeah,
them.
that's baller.
Like that's a hell of
out.
a game.
Yeah.
Like that's his average against you bums. His
Right.
average.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I mean, but shout out to them. I mean, knowing Jim Harbaugh, he probably signed off on that because he has corny humor like that. So whatever gets Devontae pissed off, I'm with it.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. And I just want to show they're taking a little bit of a turn here, but I don't know if anybody saw, again, he's a Devontae, as in he's kind of doing his press tour for receiver right now. So he stopped by the Keenan Johnson show, and my mouth dropped a little bit. I'm going to start it right in the middle. But
okay, I didn't see him on that show.
So I couldn't actually believe what came out of this man's mouth, and I don't think Devontae could either, but he handled it very well. But what's your reaction to that?
Keyshawn's an idiot. He wasn't even respected by his own teammates in Tampa Bay. Warren Sapp didn't like him. Half the team didn't like him. Man, he's a bum anyway. That's why last time he was here in Columbus, Ohio, he got his car towed and got drunk, man. I can't stand him. And his edge ups are terrible. My bad. Sorry. My bad.
No, it's all good. I mean, the interview was a little interesting anyway, because I kind of got that impression as well. But then when because it was like a subject change, and he just came out and called this man stupid.
Right.
Like, who does, like, this is a guest on your show. Like, how disrespectful. Tay kind of like looked away. He looked back, and by the way, I can't wait to see this 1-7 doc that's coming out, because I want to hear the dirt that went on behind
hear more
the
about
scenes.
that.
On a side note.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather hear more about that. Nobody want to hear what Keyshawn got to say. He's a bum. He was a number 1 overall pick, and he underwhelmed, man. Forget him.
Yeah, exactly. He probably jealous. He doesn't. He probably jealous. He never had the talent Tay had. And like, stay with Aaron Rodgers for what? For what?
Yeah, like to be a little pet for the whole career. I mean,
and then Aaron Rodgers is gone. So
yeah,
just to straight up call him stupid and then double down on it and then interrupt him while he's trying to explain. And Tay went on a little bit longer, but yeah, go check it out if you want to watch that. But I was half watching it doing something else, and I heard him straight out call him stupid, and I stopped. I was like, for real?
And it wasn't even, and you could tell Devontae is not the type of guy that plays like that. Like, some people you could probably maybe say that to Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, he's playful, but Devontae don't even seem like a guy that you can just call stupid. Like that's real disrespectful, man.
Yeah, well, I thought he handled it a lot better than I would have handled it. That for sure. I would have been like, "Fool, you calling stupid," and I would have probably said all the stuff you just said.
Yeah, like, bro, don't get me started on Keenan Johnson. Shout out to Cone Master in the comments.
What's up, Cone Master in the comments? Let's go to the comments. Why don't we? There's a lot of comments on here. We'll try to catch up a little bit. Oh, I think you asked, Chris, earlier if we're ready for training camp. Can't wait to go to Costa Mesa in a couple of weeks, meet the new young kids, and see if Zamir that big or trolling with the filters.
Man, did you see that picture?
I didn't, no.
Yeah, he's swole. He is swole. But after everyone posts it, I keep asking people, does that really matter? If it doesn't matter, if you're just a gym rat, I mean, if it doesn't translate to on the field, I really don't care. I don't care how much you could bench press or how big your biceps are. You got to be able to hit the holes and score touchdowns. So, shout out to him for being in shape, though.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see what happens. Mother Moon agrees. WTF? Not cool. Disrespectful.
Right.
100%. Anthony Estrada also agrees. I think we can all agree on this. I mean, the fact that he even said disrespectful, a guest on your show, and you calling him stupid. Listen, if Keenan Johnson thought it would have been better off for Devontae to stay on the Packers, there's a much better way to go about giving that opinion while asking him why he decided to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it literally came on out of nowhere. Like, I think you're stupid, right? Like, well, how would he know that? Why would he think that?
Yeah. It just whatever, man. Like, honestly, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't see that because I don't like his shows anyway. So I never even look for a Keenan Johnson show. So, if it wasn't for you saying that,
I've never even watched his show. Honestly, it's the first one I've ever seen because Devontae was on it, and I got past Devontae's Adam's answer to that, and I was over it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm good. I'm tapping out now. I don't need to see the last 10 minutes.
Right.
But let's just circle back a little bit to these game predictions. Like I said, underrated, I think, 7-10, projected a worse record than last year. So, according to CBS Sports, they are having the Raiders start the season 0-2 with a loss at the Chargers and a loss at the Ravens. And the thing about this, I mean, listen, I think those games could probably go either way, to be honest. But the way they say it, right? Like, it's definite. And the other narrative is, this is not me saying it, CBS Sports, if the Raiders were to have Justin Herbert on their team, that would solidify the Raiders as a championship contender. Like, to me, that's mind-blowing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's
their reasoning. I mean, what has Justin Herbert done to put that sort of expectation or that sort of glorifying him in that way? Like, Justin Herbert's the missing piece to the Raiders' championship success.
I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he's a good player on the borderline of being great. I do think he's good, and I think he's, some Raider. I mean, we hate him just because he's the opposition, but I mean, he could play. But for them to
for sure.
I mean, for the defense that we have, we don't need to have the top tier quarterback. I mean, we all love it and we all want one, but it's not a necessity right now. We need somebody that's not going to turn the ball over, somebody that can score in the red zone, someone that can take advantage of one-on-one matchups, stuff like that. That's what we need. Of course, we want a Mahomes, but we don't have that. But there's been endless examples of teams that play hard, play physical, dominate the team, and we can do that with our mindset. So screw what CBS has to say.
Yeah, no, and I'd agree with you on both aspects. Like, I don't think Justin Herbert by any means. In fact, I was hopeful that I've said this over and over. I was hopeful that the Raiders would have drafted him when it was his time to come around. However, he really hasn't proven himself to be to have that sort of reputation where you plug him in somewhere and it automatically takes you from a losing team to a championship team.
Yeah, no,
I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he has to prove more, and again, this year is going to prove it because they have no receivers, and they don't have a real running back. They're going to struggle, and that's why it kills me. These people that think the Chargers are going to beat us, we are going to beat the brakes off of them, man.
With your favorite coach, right? Your favorite coach. You want to see that more than anything.
Man, I can't wait. I am so sure of that game. I am like, honestly, I know we are going to sweep them or we're going to sweep the Broncos. I don't know about anything else, but I know we're winning those 4 games.
Well, I hope they sweep the Broncos. Jeez.
Yeah, we will.
And then of course the Raiders have the toughest stretch in week 7, 8, and 9. Rams, Chiefs, Bengals going into the bye week.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. And again, I'm just taking this 7-10 projection here from CBS Sports. Again, we're kind of going to base it off of that. But they have them losing all 3, then coming out of the bye week, losing again. So that's a 4-game losing streak right in the heart of the line. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. Again, those are tough games. Don't get me wrong. But
they are,
by that time, after week 11, they have them sitting at 3-7.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I hope the Vegas odds agree with them so I can make money. That's all I'm about right now. I'm gonna make money off their stupidity.
What are they? Do you know? Do you know the odds, right? Vegas odds right now?
I think it was 6.5 over and under. Last time I saw it, they may have bumped it up a little bit, but Like I
Okay.
said, they have us losing game 1, so I'm flipping my money on that game for sure.
What says? Do you know the spread?
I think the spread's 3.5.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, but I'm taking money line. They're gonna beat them flat out, so I don't care.
all right, fair enough. Let's get into the. Oh, you want to read some of these comments before we get into kind of the next point of underrated disrespect that's going on with the Raiders?
Yeah. Actually, man, I wish I had control. But there was one that Myra had.
You could just
Earlier.
read it.
Yeah, she basically said cause we're all gonna go to the game. She said we should throw Pop-Tarts on the field on week 1 whenever we score. I think that'd be funny. I hate the Chargers. Hate the Chargers. But anyway,
That
going
would
to
be
some
funny.
of these comments. Let's see. Matt said Alt is a rookie. He will get smoked. Yeah, he will get smoked. Yeah, Maxx is going to kill Joe Alt. Absolutely. He's going to kill him for sure. Let's see. Leo said Jack always supports the Irish players. Maxx is going to eat up our boy. Yep, that's true. That's true. What else? A lot of people giving a lot of love. Let's see. Raider Travis said Kermit's only lucky he's had the team he has to make him look that good. That's true. That's true. Mahomes does have a good team and a good coach, so, for sure. But I think we're going to be all right.
I mean, he has a good team and a good coach, but I mean, it's not like he sucks. Let's be honest.
Right.
We hate to admit it.
That's true. But we do have the defensive line that could slow him down to give him trouble. We do have that. So AP knew what he was doing by building that defensive line.
So let's talk about Mad Maxx a little bit. He is ranked as of right now. So again, we talked about earlier that the Raiders are at the number 9. We're at number 9 defense. We think they're going to improve as Raiders fans. And listen, I know sometimes I'll say, I guess we can be delusional.
As hell.
Probably not me as much to say, but anyway. I don't think it's delusional to say that the Raiders will improve on that. I really do believe that. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Raiders fan and that's what I'm supposed to say. Like, I truly believe that.
No, you are one of the lesser delusional fans that I know. I will say that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Here's the top 10 defensive ends in the NFL, according to the NFL coaches and executive. We have Mad Maxx at 5 here. You know he wants that number 1 spot. What do you think about this list? Do you think Mad Maxx is right there where he belongs?
I have to be completely honest. I love Maxx, but I can't say I'm mad at this list. I really can't. Myles Garrett is a freak. He has to be number 1. He just unblockable. TJ Watt, the same thing. I mean, he gets home. At the end of the day, he gets double teamed and triple teamed as well. He just gets home. Micah Parsons, that one could be a little questionable, but Mike is good. Nick Bosa, when he's healthy, it's hard to really argue that. But I'm okay with having Maxx there. I'm not like some people act like this is true disrespect. If I'm just being completely honest and objective, I'm okay with number 5 there.
Yeah, I kind of am. I feel like Maxx could be he could do both. Again, Bosa could probably switch. I think I can. Again, when Bosa's really good also, and like you said, when the health factor comes into play. But I really think I could see Maxx 4, maybe even 3 here.
Yeah, it's definitely an argument to say so. But
5 is not like a complete disrespect.
No, exactly. I think a lot of people are like acting like it's pure disrespect. And I don't see it like that. And plus, it's like someone in the comments said, like, once we start winning games, like, that's when you're going to start seeing Maxx get true votes to be, defensive player of the year and stuff like that. But with us just not having a good team, it's just hard to give them that, to put them up any higher, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. And listen, I don't watch Honestly, I don't watch a lot of these other teams, but the little bit I have seen these players, it would say, I've seen Nick Bosa probably a little bit more just because they made the run at the Super Bowl, so they're going to be on TV a little more.
Oh, is that why you watch Nick Bosa a little more? Is that why?
That's not why I watch Nick Bosa. That's why I happen to see the 49ers. No, I will watch Nick Bosa. He doesn't have to play football. I'll just watch
I know. That's my point.
But I will say this. The effort, I feel like the effort Maxx puts out is far superior over
by far.
the effort Bosa puts out.
No, by far. He has the best motor in the NFL. And that's, people like Marvin Lewis, who's coached arguably the best defense ever, has said he's never seen someone like Maxx. And this is somebody that had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all those. I think Ed Reed was on that team. He had beasts on that team. So no, by any means, me saying Maxx at 5 is okay. I'm not dogging him. I love Maxx, but I'm just saying I'm not gonna get upset about this list.
No, I agree. I think I'm not. I don't think it's something to get upset about, but I also think there's wiggle room there for him to move up. And in his eyes, he's going to be number 1. So, let's not forget that.
Absolutely. And hopefully he uses that as fuel. He didn't get 1 vote for Defensive Player of the Year. Now, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's a whole new thing. Myra G, what's good, girl? Is this supposed to be an insult? Because what other way would you eat them?
No, Myra always makes fun of guys that eat boneless wings.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. All right. I didn't even know that was a topic of debate, but okay.
It's a thing. It's a
thing.
Don't trust guys that eat boneless wings.
I would prefer not to see anybody eat wings in my presence ever, personally, but well. But you and I talked about a couple weeks ago when Howie Long was on The Rush, and he spoke about how he thought that Maxx would maybe fare a little better if he didn't take every snap, if he got a break here and there. And we discussed if, that would be taken to heart or considered or anything like that. Now, fast forward, I don't know if you saw the episode with Richie Incognito. He stepped out and said, I love that Maxx takes every snap, and I want to see him take every snap. So a very different contrast in opinion by really 2 Raiders greats. And I feel like if there was any doubt, not that I'm saying there would be, if there were any doubt on Maxx to maybe take a snap off here and there, I think that comment by Richie Incognito, gone. That thought is now gone.
Yeah. For sure. I understand what Howie's saying, to be quite honest. Because, but the thing is, Maxx, and just for what we need him for, we just need him. He's our backbone to that defense. Now, the thing is, some of these other players that take plays off, they have guys in a rotation that can at least keep playing. We're finally getting to that point where we can get there, where we got the Malcolm Kuntz, and hopefully Tyree Wilson can come in on a rotational, so therefore, what Howie's saying is, we love that you're playing and not coming off the field, but hey, on those key third downs in the fourth quarter,
we need you 100.
100%.
Yeah.
Not so I get what he was saying. So, and I get what Richie's saying, because that's one of the things we love about Maxx is he's like he's a robot, man. He's a machine. He don't come off the field. But if I could have Maxx take 5% less snaps, and then he can give me even more, effort. I think he extends all his effort anyway. But if he can just give me a little bit more on some of them third downs, then maybe he can get home and get some more sacks.
Yeah, definitely. I like both takes, to be honest. I can see both sides. And I don't know. I don't think one was commenting on the other. Yeah. Richie was commenting on Howie. Now the question might have been, I thought maybe the question was posed because of what Howie said, potentially. Because it just kind of came out like, hey, what do you think of this? Maybe not, but
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I love everything about Maxx, and he's exactly what we needed at this time in this era that could have potentially got much darker, I really see a light at the end of the tunnel because of people like him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's bump ahead to another reason why we think that the Raiders are underrated. I think we were all a little bit shocked with the Raiders draft picks this year, but let's not forget they decided to go with the best players available. They said, "Hey, we're gonna go for not necessarily what we think our need is right now or what people think our need is. We're gonna snatch the best player available." And we talked about this extensively. Should the Raiders take the best players available, even if it were a receiver? And I think collectively everyone was like, "No." They did it, and now that we see who the Raiders have, that's just more weapons. And I think that those draft picks are being dismissed a little bit as well. I don't know. I haven't really heard a lot of talk about these guys. A little bit. You and I talked about it 2 weeks ago. How they're Bowers and some others are rookies. They're and all that. But there's not a lot yet. And I get it. They haven't really done anything yet. But do you think I guess my question is, do you think those guys are really getting taken into consideration on making an immediate effect on how the Raiders can improve this year?
You mean like from like the outside world, like when they look at us and
right when they look at us and give these sort of 7 and 10 projections?
See, honestly, I think with Bowers they have to, because statistically Bowers is, arguably the best tight end that's come out since maybe ever. There's literally lists that has like some of the best college tight ends ever, and he's number one. So, the dude is decorated. He's no nonsense. Did we need a tight end as our number one need? No. But can you pass up on? Like, honestly, I'm so glad we got him and not the Chargers. Because honestly, he had Chargers written all over him. Like, that's a Jim Harbaugh dream right there. And then as far as JPJ, like, everyone who would listen to me talk knows I would have took him in the first round. He was, to me, the best interior lineman, which we need. So if people are overlooking those draft picks, shame on them. They didn't do their homework.
Where do you think JPJ falls? Two-part question, actually. Do you think he's better center, guard, and do you think he'll make an immediate impact this season, or do you think we'll really see an impact from him next season?
Oh, this season. Because for one, everyone that I talked to that actually played both positions will tell you that, the center is more of like the quarterback of the offensive line. Like, they're the leader. They're calling stuff out. However, it's like as guard, you can just focus on your assignment. Mm-hmm. He's going to be able to, out the gate, be able to focus on just blocking. He has a mean streak already. He has that intensity. Guard is one of those positions that, as long as you can stand up physically with these guys and be able to take like that grown man NFL strength and stuff like that, then you can jump in and do well immediately. We saw that with Gabe Jackson the same year we drafted Derek Carr. Gabe Jackson came in, I think he was a 3rd or 4th round guy, and he was a starter until he left. So,
all right, yeah. Well, I just want to say what's good to some people here in the chat. AR, my co-host on Monday Night Madness, Scotty Waddy, Raider One, what's good? Nice to have you in here. Rick, all the way from Hawaii. I don't think we said what's up to you yet.
Aloha.
Raiders, C-Dub, what is good? Fishing Game, always in the building. Thanks for joining us. Just a few new comments that I saw in here. All right, so do you want to get to some more of these comments here?
Yeah, let's see. Matt had a good one. He said Bowers will be part of the running game. The JPJ will be a nice fit as guard. Glaze will be a good swing tackle in a couple years. That's a very solid comment right there. I definitely agree. Because, again, Bowers can run the ball. Like, a lot of people that are seeing what Debo Samuels is doing on that receiver show, Bowers, he may not be as explosive, but we can do a lot of the same things with Bowers. So, yeah, so that's a good comment there. Shout out to my boy AR. He said, I'm guilty. I didn't do my homework. Why it was a little shocking initially, but I'm not the only one. No, for sure. There's a lot of people that were shocked. Even I was shocked.
I was one of them.
Yeah, I was shocked, but I was good with it just because I know how good Bowers is, because I've been watching Georgia, on Saturdays, some games, and I never thought he would ever be an option, because the moment we lost Darren Waller, everybody know how pissed I was. I'm like, the only thing that's going to make it better is if we get like a Bowers type of guy. And
you should have made a music video about it.
Shout out to Waller, man. Leave my guy alone. But for real though, like Bowers was just, to me, it was almost like a luxury pick. But then when you really think about it, like, I don't think we're gonna have a good of running game as most people think we are. So we're gonna need someone like Bowers to kind of help open up the middle.
So let me ask you this, because you are a fan of Waller. I think you were a fan of Renfro, right?
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah,
okay.
I like Renfro. Yeah.
So what do you think now? Do you think the Raiders look better or worse with what we have now versus those guys?
So I think we're in a better position. I think
athletically,
of course, I loved Waller, but mentally he wasn't there. I get it. Bowers can be even more explosive. Bowers is no nonsense, so he'll be cool. As far as Renfro goes, I mean, that's your guy. Renfro was just more of a feel good story, but as far as like being a real dog, I wouldn't say that. I think Trey Tucker is gonna.
So who's picked up Renfro?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe I'm not the only one with that opinion. Is all I'm saying.
No, yeah, you're right.
We wish him the best. Listen, I wish him the best.
Oh yeah.
But
no,
I'm not. I wasn't crying when he got cut. Let's just put it that way.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's. Go ahead.
I was just gonna go back into some kind of the rest of these picks on how the Raiders have been projected at this 7-10 record here. Again, going back to the CBS Sports article, they have the Raiders losing to the Chargers not once but twice. Now, to me, that's a little absurd. I mean, it's got to be like borderline. I hate to say this because it just sounds like a bitchy thing to be, just to bitch about being hated on, but that sounds like a little bit like haterism.
Oh, it is spicy. The thing is, we haven't got swept by them in the last 8 years. Like, what makes you think we're going to get swept now, like, when we're better? So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's stupid. It's stupid because this is one of the worst Charger teams that they've had in a long time. So, that's why, I can't wait to that game, because I am more confident in that game than probably anything else on the schedule.
All right, we got Scotty Waddy Raider 1 on the line. Scotty Waddy, what's good? You are live.
Scotty.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Spicy? What's going on, Chris?
What's up, brother? How you doing,
Can you
man?
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, so I came in a little bit late, but I just wanted to speak on a little bit about being underrated. If you really look at it, I think we're underrated for a couple reasons. Well, probably more, but two that I want to say. One, look at our division. I mean, you're forever talking about Herbert being the next greatest thing every year. They're supposed to do these miraculous things. Now they got Harbaugh, and so that's one thing. Then you got that other team from Kansas City, whatever the name is. Then they're going to talk them up. They're going to do their thing, whatever. And I think that's why we're getting underrated, just because of the division we're in. And then I think the second reason why we're being underrated is we're like the bad news bears, man. Like, we put together a bunch of pieces, and we got some misfits here,
He's going in and out.
Antonio Pierce, brand new coach, they don't know how he's going to do. So Vegas ain't going to give us good odds on that. And these sports writers, they don't want to put their name out there and say, hey, man, I think they're really going to do it.
Well, I think I lost Spicy for a second, man. But real quick, while we get that together, man, just want to get into some of these comments, man. Let's see, got my boy. Shout out to WifiWillie Raider in the building, man. Shout out, appreciate you coming through. He said the Raiders are always underrated. We haven't done anything. I mean, that's true. We got to earn that. So my boy AR, he said Renfro was a good Raider when he was good. Yeah, I have no problems with Renfro, to be quite honest. I think, Renfro seemed like he was a good teammate. I mean, I just think it was bad timing for him.
All right, sorry, I got disconnected here. But Scotty, you were saying?
All right, so if I'm back on, I'm saying, we're kind of a misfit, and I kind of like that because we're just putting some pieces together, and everybody, the sports writers are going to go out there and stick their neck out there and say, yeah, man, I think they got the pieces to put it together, so they're gonna knock us down some, so I think it's kind of.
I think Scotty's going in and out. I don't think I can hear
why
him.
we're being underrated. Well, I think it's just kind of the way it is. But at the end of the day, how many teams have gone out there? The Cinderella story. This happens in every sport across the board.
You can't hear him.
Well,
Yeah, the chat saying he's going in and out.
we can't do something with it. And these guys don't watch the Raiders as much as we watch. We're watching every match.
So,
Big thing about the Raiders. They're going on,
hey, Scotty, I think you're going in and out. If you want to pop on, I'm gonna send you the backstage link. Otherwise, we gotta let you go. Okay. All right.
Salute, Scotty.
So yeah, and I think it's him or the phone. I think something's going on my end. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, but no, I get what he was saying though. I mean, I see why the outside world is kind of hating on us. WifiWillie Raider, he had a good.
Go ahead, take it, Chris.
Okay, I'm sorry. WifiWillie Raider, he had a good comment earlier. He said, we have an unproven player in AOC and a journeyman in Gardner. So from the outside, the quarterback room doesn't look elite. But honestly, we have four quarterbacks. We're in a good spot. So, yeah, so a lot of people just don't have the trust in some of our players that we have. Because from the outside looking in, they're like, hey, the Raiders don't have a quarterback. Secondly, they got rid of, say what you want, but they got rid of Josh Jacobs, who was a great running back for us. They figure that our offensive line isn't that good. I mean, they know we got a good defense, but I could see why some people are hating, but I guess I don't understand why people don't realize that we at least gotten a little better and the Chargers have gotten so much worse. That's the part I don't understand. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't. The thing is, it's not coming from like the fan base. If it would come from leader fans of other teams, you're like, all right, well, of course you're going to say we're terrible. But this is coming from like news outlets.
Yeah.
So to me, that it's like it just seems a lot more disrespectful, if you will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it's such a quarterback league, so
Sure.
that's what they're basing all that. They're basing it on a quarterback, and they're basing it on an unproven coach. Because if you look at it, and I would ask the chat this too, like if you guys had to, rank the top coaches in our division, how would you rank them? And then if you rank the top, or if you rank the quarterbacks in our division, how would you rank them? So like when you just look at those two things, that's why, if you really have an objective outlook on it, that's why the outside world thinks what they think about us, honestly.
Well, and listen, I disagree. I disagree with with what most people are saying. Let me just start there. However, it's like that thing where your reputation supersedes you, right? I mean, the Raiders have, over the past 20 seasons, have had the most losses in the NFL, only second to the Browns, and it's within like 6 games. Like, they could be the way this is.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's like
so
6
it's
games.
like I think people, you're maybe when you don't follow a team really closely, you just like. Almost like when you don't follow a team really closely, you just know if a team is bad or not, right? You know that from every sport. You don't even have to follow baseball to know a certain team is bad. You don't have to follow basketball to know a certain team is bad. If that's the reputation, that's the reputation.
Exactly.
The average person is not looking at it the way we are with this player and that player and this matchup versus that matchup and numbers and things like that. They just say, oh, the Raiders are coming.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Let's mark that. Let's check that box in the W column. And I think that's where kind of a lot of it is coming from. Again, but I can expect that more from a fan base of another team. But coming, like I said, you would hopefully want a little bit more like an unbiased opinion, I guess. I feel like it's a biased opinion in a negative way.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to get under that cloud of the NFL hates us and media. Like, I try not to because I don't want to have that victim mentality.
Sure.
But I don't know.
And like I said, I don't want to make it seem like I'm bitching on that level, but it seems like there's something missing here.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I think me and you talk about it all the time. It's like we haven't been a good organization. We've been super dysfunctional. We are a joke to a lot of outside people that, I mean, we love the Raiders because we love the Raiders, but a lot of other teams laugh at all the stuff that we got going on. I mean, it's probably comical to them. It's misery for us, but we got to earn that. And I'm okay with it. Like, my thing is, sleep on us if you want to, but don't say nothing when we smack you in the mouth, so... we'll get there. So I don't even mind the hate, honestly. I don't even mind the hate. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Got my boy Raider Nation, Jason in the building, D Menace in the building. The chat is crazy today.
Which we are full. No, I mean, why? Of course not. No. Just,
I think you're breaking up.
It on.
I think you're breaking up.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and see if we can add Scotty Waddy to the stage so he can finish.
What up?
Scotty, what's going on, man?
What's happening? What's going on? What's good?
Hey, we hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Hey.
But yeah, man. So I agree with a lot what you're saying, man. The reason why we're, why they look at us, and honestly, I think we have to do a lot of. I mean, we got to earn it, honestly, and I'm good with that. Let's just earn it then. Like I said, it's all fun and games till we punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. When you just said that, I totally agree with you. And again, man, I'm optimistic. I'm not Omar optimistic, but I'm optimistic.
Nobody's Omar optimistic. Super Bowl.
That's a term. That's a term. But I'm optimistic just because, we got this new, again, we were talking about it on Monday, Spicy. We got this new attitude, if you will. We got this new direction it seems like we're going in. And like Chris says, it plays into what you just said. It's all fun and games till you get popped in the mouth. You're right, And so, but yeah, you're right about if you rank the quarterbacks, if you rank the coaching staff. Absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, again, as not insiders, but as fans that are concentrated a lot
we dissect it
on the team. Yeah, we dissect these things and we're like, wait a minute, we got a squad. We got something working right here. And all those X factors aren't being factored into whatever record you think that they're trying to give us. So and I get that. I dig it. They got a job to do. They want to be right. That it's about they got one team. The sports writers, they got their favorite team, but they're looking at they gotta rank the whole league, so I dig it. you're gonna say we coming in at 7-10,
Yeah.
because the formulas say that or whatever. That don't mean nothing. That
Yeah.
don't mean how many teams have come up and oh damn, where'd they come from?
Yeah.
How many times has that happened across the board in sports
Yeah.
altogether? So it don't bother me. I like it a little bit because I like playing as the underdog. That's that Raider mentality. Oh yeah, well, you think we can't do it? All right, well here we come.
Yeah.
I like it. I dig it.
I do too. I do too. That's why I'm like, that they can say what they want, but I just, for the life of me, and I don't know if it's just because I just don't believe in hardball, but I just do not understand how people can look me in the face and really believe that that the Chargers are better than them. I just don't see it. They literally got rid of all their receivers, their starting tight end, their best running back, and they got a new coach, and they got a defensive coordinator that came straight from college.
Yeah. And tell me, how is that so much different than what the Raiders got, other than I think we got a better roster? How is it so much different?
That's why I don't get. That's why I don't get.
Year after year, since they've had Herbert, year after year, he's going to be the magician. Every single year they've said this, and he has done nothing other than sit up there and I hope we tie. What did he say? I never wanted a tie so bad in my life. Shut the hell up. He ain't done a damn thing. You can sling the ball. That's cool. I ain't knocking you for that.
Yeah, he can spin it.
But you ain't go. I think we got a way more complete team than San Diego.
It's not even close. It's not even close. Like, that's why I don't even. Absolutely. Yeah, like to me that they are going to be one of our easier games, and that's why it just drives me crazy, But again, I'm cool with it. Let them think what they want to think.
Yeah, and the Harbaugh pick. Now let's play this game. Now, if we had gotten Harbaugh, like some people were saying, if we had gotten Harbaugh, would they rank us a little bit better? Because I think they would.
They probably would.
They would.
Yeah. So
they would.
They probably would.
Yeah, they're underestimating us. And I've said this a million times. What I like about AP is he's not afraid to say, I don't know. Let me bring this cat in here to help me out with this. I think that's a recipe for success.
Let me get one of my mentors that has 2 Super Bowl rings, that's beat 2 of the best Patriots teams ever. Also, by the way, let me get my other mentor in the building who arguably has orchestrated the best defense we've ever seen.
Thank you.
What are we talking about?
You. Exactly. Yes. And so, like I said, these guys, I think it's is his name Bill Eisen or something? He always
Rick Eisen.
Rick Eisen. He always talk like it's like he sees things the way we're trying to see it, and maybe he's right, he's wrong, whatever. But if you're not paying close attention to really what we're doing, man, I think you're sleeping on us a little bit. I think they're sleeping on us.
They are. Yeah, because like if you're not a true fan, then you're not gonna you in your mind you're like, okay, they only have Devontae, that's it. You're not gonna understand how Trey Tucker is trending up, or you're not gonna know how Jacoby Myers is one of the best wide receiver 2s in the league, and he quietly can win all one-on-one matchups. Like you're not gonna understand that stuff because you don't dig into the details like that.
Right.
Well, Chris, you asked this real quick. Chris, because we're going to wrap up here in 5 minutes. You asked this at the top of the show, and we'll ask this to the chat as well. The very thing before we even got to it, we said we think they're going to be better than 7-10. You said, or I said better than 8-9, which is what they were last year. Mm-hmm. And you said how much better. So how much better? I mean, let's not be delusional here, okay? In my opinion. Yeah, we getting a little excited, I think, both you guys getting a little excited because I think they are going to be better than 8-9. I certainly think they're going to be better than 7-10. What do you think in the chat? How much better? What do you think the record's going to be this year? What do you guys think?
Mayor?
Me personally, I hate to say this, but to me it depends on who the quarterback is. I know a lot of us disagree on the quarterback, but I'm a conservatively say we'll be 10-7.
Okay. Scotty, and I forgot your prediction. My bad.
Mine was either 12 games or 13, something like that. But
Okay.
again, I base that off of not just a number, but I base that off of exactly who we were playing. And the other thing I will say, we lost 5 games within one score last year
Exactly.
with not this defense,
Exactly.
with not these weapons, with we had a hot mess last year. So that's 5 games is a lot. So I don't know. Okay, add half of that, 2.5 more games to then that's 10.5 games right there. So I mean,
So how'd you get
it's
to 12 and 13 when the math just math at 10 and a half?
well, I'm just saying, conservatively saying, if we could win just half of those games that we lost by 1 point, that's 2.5 more games. So if you,
Okay.
if you want to be realistic about it and not be hopeful like I am, well then I can at least say we can win 10 to 11 games. That's half of the games that we lost by one score last season. That's all I'm adding to what we actually won.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes logical sense to me, I think.
Well,
No,
those numbers to me do. 10 and 11 seems a lot more realistic than 12 and 13, to be honest.
Well, that's only 1 or 2 games though. See, I'm being Omar.
I think that's 5, but okay. You already gave yourself 2. Now you're giving yourself 2 more. Maybe even 3.
It's the Omar coming out at me.
The unrealist.
No, I think I'll be real. I think we're solid for 10 games. I think we're solid
Okay.
for that.
I at least can buy that.
Yeah, I think we're good for 10 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
look, here's the thing. We all want the Raiders to win, but we have to be realistic on this, right? I think if we're going to give our opinions here, we have to give realistic opinions. And I'm giving the Raiders about a 9-8 record. That's still an improvement. It's not a great improvement, but it's an improvement. I mean, I don't see them winning 13 games. I just don't. I mean, like I said, the best team in football had 13 games. Listen, winning a Super Bowl is hard, and only 2 teams make it every year. Honestly, I cannot sit here and say that I think the Raiders are one of 2 of the best teams in the NFL.
right. No, I agree. I just think that like Scotty said, like those games that we let squeak away last year, I think we can close them out this year. Like I think we have the type of
Totally.
weapons that can close a game out where
I agree
last
with
year we
that.
couldn't.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, now let me ask this question on
Right.
off what you said, Spicy. So, would you call a 9 or 10 win season a solid step forward for the team compared to what we did last year? Okay. See, I think that's fair to say. I think that's fair to say because again,
Of course.
we're putting it together.
Yeah, of
We're
course.
putting it together, and if we can move up that step, okay, all right, gives us something to work on, and we add a little bit more here. We, whatever. But I think that's a fair
Exactly. Here's the thing. The Raiders need consistency moving forward. You improve 2 games this season, and then you improve your team. You keep the core. You don't turn over your coach. You don't turn this over. You don't turn that over. There's too many turnovers. There's too much of that. There needs to be consistency and improvement every year. We can't continue to start over every single year.
Exactly.
We have to say we've got our core guys. We've got Devontae. We've got Maxx. We've got some strong draft picks. Hopefully we have our coach for the future. Let's build upon these things and let's continue. So maybe in a year or 2 we can get to those 13 games.
That's not unfair at all. That's
Yeah.
not unfair at all.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at, man. And again, that continuity is everything. And we have a coach that, like you said, he surrounds himself with guys that know more than him. Like if we would have got Harbaugh, no way in hell he do anything like that. Harbaugh wants to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
You know, we got AP who has no problem calling up guys with Super Bowl rings and asking for advice and all that. So that's going to make the difference.
Listen, at the end of the day, Pierce might not be the strongest guy with the X's and the O's, but he has the locker room. Exactly. He has the locker room. He has the mentality. He's the best fit for our team. And to me, that's more important than anything.
And here's the other thing. We're also speaking under the assumption that he isn't the best guy with X and O. We don't know. He might be stronger than we think he is. We only have a small sample of him. He might be better than we think he is. We don't know.
He played in NFL for a long time at a position where he literally was a quarterback of the defense with a great beating cerebral teams like Tom Brady. Yeah, we can't act like he's a dummy up there, you know.
Right.
No, I'm not saying that, Chris. You always trade I feel like you always twist my words into that's not what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about
I'm saying the most important parts to him for us are these other aspects, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the people that are like kind of AP haters. They kind of act like he's not an X's and O's guy, like he's just like a rah-rah, inspirational guy. No, I wasn't talking about you at all, Spice.
No, not at all. It's just in general, like you said, if you're going to rank the coaches, well, they're dropping our coach to last because of these things.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. We don't know. We got a small sample size of him, but we don't know. He might be. Hey,
it might be all right. Like I said, I just think he's the best. He's the best fit for sure.
Oh, for sure. Right
now we needed AP. Right now we need AP.
Oh my God, yeah, we need him more now than ever. Just because we all saw the McDaniels disaster, and everyone that's watching receiver now, you can just see the change when McDaniels got out that door compared to when AP took over. The locker room changed. We could see it right. In front of our eyes in that documentary.
I felt like we saw it in front of our eyes without the doc.
Yeah, we did.
But I think we're going to wrap up here, but I think this Watts Raider, to me, this is the statement of the evening, and I think we can sit here and nitpick about X's and O's and quarterbacks and this, that, and the other, but honestly, I think this is the key to success. We actually just need consistency. I think that's always been the key to success for the Raiders, and unfortunately, the Raiders have lacked that over the years, and I think, fingers crossed, God willing, we're on our way to that consistency.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Shout out to my boy Watts Raider. What's going on, brother?
Watts Raider.
And remember, if you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe and become a member if you haven't already. Make sure to check out all of our shows on both of these channels here. All right, guys, we go out one way and only one way. Raiders! I'm stuck. We're trying to end.
We love y'all. We just don't want to go nowhere.
I know, we don't want to leave.
Well, since we're held hostage, hit the like button on the way out, ladies and gentlemen.
We're still